is to Sam Blum.
Hey, Feron, just kind of a two-parter. Generally, your thoughts on this game, and then also I wanted to ask about Jamar and how you thought he played stepping into that situation.
Jamar played really good. I think he had like 5 boards. He was rebounding the heck out of the ball. He played really good, and feel really good about the win. We finally get to get Gatorade again. It's been like almost a week since we haven't got Gatorade, so that's the biggest take I got from the day.
All right, another question for Sam.
Just me today, I think, or Kevin might be here. But what's the Gatorade deal? What is that?
So when we lose, we don't get Gatorade in practice. We just water. And I got a sweet tooth, and a lot of my teammates got a sweet tooth. So we like to have our Gatorade, in practice. So when we lose, it's been a tradition here since like before I got here that we don't get Gatorade after a down.
Next question to Damon Sales.
Hey, Feron, can you just talk about the defensive play of the team, holding Temple to 39%?
If I'm not mistaken, we're trying to hold teams to 39%, right? Hello? Are we trying to hold teams to 39%? Yeah, 39, and they only get like 20% of their misses back, something like that. We got a little rule. I can't remember it right now. But I think we were together defensively, like as a team. We were more talking today, and we're moving in the right direction for this road game we have Thursday night.
Next question to Kevin Reynolds.
Hey, Feron, it was about a 4-point game a couple of times in the second half. And what was kind of the difference for you guys stretching the lead out down the stretch of the game?
Just locking in and making the right reads. Sometimes we'll, get sped up and not make the right reads. And when we play simple, we're at our best. So I think us just slowing down and making the right reads was really the key impact for us. What the hell?
Next question back to Damon Sales.
Yeah, let me just hear it straight from you, Feron, in speaking about how important it was to get a win today, considering that you guys are going on a pretty big-time stretch here with, I guess, Memphis and Wichita State coming up.
It was really important for us. All wins are a confidence booster, and I think this one was, real good. Last year, we lost to them at Temple. We were up like 15. We lost to them at Temple. So today was, really good. We got revenge for last year, and now, this will be really good for us going to Memphis. We beat them last year, so hopefully we can do the same thing at Memphis again this year. They're a really good team. In Wichita, of course, I think we blew that game here, but we won't blow it, this year. I think we should be in a good spot.
Back to Sam Blum.
Hey, sorry, I wasn't.
Yeah, I got the wrong one. It's Sam.
Hello?
Sorry, Billy Embody, you're up next. Sorry.
Hey, Feron, just kind of looking back at this win, with you guys having that little 2-game skid, you mentioned the momentum that you guys are trying to build off of that win, this win with, but was there anything said during this little stretch that, kind of brought you guys together to kind of get you guys back on track, maybe in practice or meetings?
Yeah, Coach Jank called us soft, and we don't like that. So we don't want the label to be soft. So when he calls us soft, it strikes a nerve. And we flip the switch, and we're going to try and keep flipping the switch and continue the momentum.
All right.
I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about Jamar Young's minutes today and his contribution, especially in a tough spot for you in the second half.
That's what I wanted to. I'm glad you asked, because that's what I wanted to talk about first. He kind of saved the day, didn't he? So much foul trouble, and I'm just really happy for him and proud of him, and maybe it's going to be a big boost for him, and he's got a chance to be a heck of a player. I've been saying that for a long time, I still believe it. I think one day, whatever day that is, we're all going to go, holy cow. And maybe that was just a little glimpse of it today.
Next question, Sam Blum.
Hey Tim, yeah. So Feron was saying that you guys, or you may have called them soft, the team soft in practice, and that motivated them. What was kind of the circumstances there?
Well, it's probably not the first time that that's happened by any stretch. And I don't think that's a monumental thing anyway, but what inspired it, if that's what you're asking, is our lack of rebounding. Simple as that, really. Our lack of rebounding for a while. This team, I thought, whipped us on the boards when we played at Temple. Obviously Houston's whipping everybody on the boards, but I mean, we've just kind of made a habit of something you better not have a habit, and that's rebounding. And so at least, maybe we'll see. That's one game, but I liked what I saw. We did dominate the glass, and we've got to at least negate that moving forward. So that's what inspired it.
Next question, Damon Sales.
Hey, Tim, 7 minutes, 5 rebounds for Jamar Young. Is this the type of game that allows the coaching staff to reevaluate and possibly get him in for some new minutes?
Always, and I told him, I think you're probably leading America in rebounds per minute now. If you get 5 and 7 minutes, I don't know the rest of the year, but you're in the category, even though it's a small sample size, but certainly, and that's competition. That's our country. It's a competitive country, and it's a competitive world that we live in, and that's sometimes guys give in. If you're not in the rotation early on, you fight your way 2 minutes, and maybe he will. I hope he does. I'm always inspired by guys that keep fighting, and I hope that this motivates him to continue to push for his own, development, his own minutes.
Next question, Billy Embody.
Hey, Tim, was wondering if you had any update on Tyson Jolly, just as the new year has kind of gone along. And then you said it hasn't been the first time you've called them soft. I mean, I guess how do you know when to kind of use that button to try and push their buttons instead of maybe use it too judiciously?
Yeah, no, I don't use it all the time, and I honestly, as best I can remember, I honestly only say it when I mean. I try to, I didn't have an advanced psychology degree. I don't have a PhD, so the degree I have, the one I subscribe to, is just being honest. Like, this is what I think, and this is what I feel, and this is what I see. And what I see is a team that's been soft on the boards for a few weeks, and so that's when it comes out. And it's really, I wish it was more complicated than that, but that's really what it is. It's what I see. It's what I feel. But at the same time, I know it's something that's changeable. I don't mean that that's for the rest of your life. It's the way you're playing right now.
Back to Sam Blum.
I wanted to ask you about Feron, and he's he seems like he's playing a little differently. He's attacking the basket more, maybe. What have you kind of seen from him? And is he a little different than the player maybe that I know that at times was up and down last year?
Well, here's what I liked. Let me say this. It's my fault for not. I liked a lot of what I saw tonight, a whole bunch of what I saw. So many good things. In the first half, I thought we played great, other than, Barry just had a crazy half. And those weren't all open shots, maybe a couple, but I mean, he kept them in the game. But there was a lot of good things going on, and a lot of good things the second half. Of course, we could talk about we fouled too much and, a couple other things, but there were a lot of really good things. Feron, if you talk about Feron, I have to mention, it's a double-double. Anybody gets 10 rebounds, you got to talk about that. But what he did tonight, and we've been talking about this, is sometimes he gets out of control when he starts to attack. And, late in the Cincinnati game, he traveled a couple times, threw up a shot that was pretty ill-advised. These are all the things that he's developing in his game. And today he was under control. He was just really under control. And that's a real positive. That's a big positive. Another big positive, Ethan had 5 assists. I mean, that's crazy for a guy that's not handling the ball, Jamar's 5 rebounds in a short period of time. Kendrick, 22 points and 7 assists and 0 turnovers. You kidding me? That's crazy. Emmanuel was not just because he shot it great, but he was great tonight. We put him back on Barry. That shut him down. He did the best job, and he's just really a good defender, a good driver. So he had a good night. But I liked our team a lot, and short of the fouls and maybe a little bad luck and maybe a little bit of losing our urgency on Barry in the first half, there was a lot to feel good about. I hope we can build on it. I hope it wasn't one night. I hope this is the start of more of those kinds of feelings and more of those thoughts.
Next question, Kevin Reynolds.
Another guy too in the rotation was Charles, who hit a couple shots down the stretch of this game. I was wondering for you, how comfortable do you feel now in the conference game, putting him in a big spot?
Great question. Great question. Very, very now. He is, and you're right. I should have mentioned him before because he hit some big shots, which he has a knack for doing. But he always had that knack. But now, I say this all the time. He's a bright player. He's got a great feel for the game. His playing time, particularly last year, was all about defense, honestly. And just, if he could be able to guard his position in our league at this level, and he keeps proving that he can do that. Now tonight he was in his zone a lot of times, but not his fault, but lately I've seen him in the last 2 games, Houston game, Cincinnati game, played very good defense. So I'm getting plenty of confidence in Charles.
Up next, Damon Sales.
Tim, you spoke about psychology a couple of minutes ago. I got a quick 2-parter for you. First off,
well, you lost me already.
First off, obviously the captain obvious question. A game like this, to win it, what does it do for the team psyche entering such a tough stretch coming up? And secondly, from a psychological perspective, what does a game like this do for JC and for Ane? Both guys didn't have their best games. They foul out. What does it do for them as they prepare for these upcoming games?
Okay. First part, hopefully I remember the second part. First part, we needed to win. I mean, come on. We needed to win. We had a rough week last week. We led both games at halftime, which, that and a quarter won't get you a donut, so what? But we were there. We're playing well enough, but we didn't, you don't get anything for close. And so it was a rough week. We needed to win this game. It'll help us immensely. It would have been a tough pill to swallow today for sure. So it's a big boost. I mean, I think we all know that. This is a big boost. As far as Isaiah and they both fouled out. That's kind of hard to do. And they did get some offensive rebounds. I was happy about that, but neither would say they played anywhere close to their best. But my experience is, competitors, usually that fuels them. So I would expect they're going to play their tail off Thursday. Whether that happens or not, we'll see. But I've always been, I say always, for the most part, been more nervous about when we prepare for someone. I'm not that worried about the guy that had 32 points the game before us, because he's probably not in the same mindset of the guy that's a really good player that had a bad game, because that guy is sitting in his room and he's stewing on it and he's fueling himself. So that's, normally the case. Confidence does go into it. But great competitors, you only can ding their confidence for a short time. And so hopefully they will come out and play their best Thursday. We'll need them to.
To Sam Blum.
Yeah, this I guess has been a tradition that I've not been aware of since I started working here. But apparently, you guys don't give out Gatorade after losses; it's only after wins. What's kind of the thought process with that little tradition?
I did not even know that. No, I don't have anything to do with the post game refreshments. There's certain things that don't get to me. I didn't even know that. I don't even know for sure it's true, but it could be. I guess it might go back to Warren. I don't know. It kind of sounds like Warren a little bit. I don't know. I've never heard that one before. So wrong person to ask. Sorry.
And Sam, do you have a follow-up?
Well, I was just going to ask about those two guys you met. You were talking about a little bit before. Is there any way to limit their fouls? Because it seems like some of them with Yor and with JC, they are fouling at times where it's it seems like they could be preventable.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's discipline, and that's what it is. It's discipline. Being a defender is in a large part about being disciplined. And in their case, a lot of times the discipline is going for shot fakes. You can start with Yor. Of course, Yor, he wants to block every shot. He's a tremendous shot blocker, but they're starting to figure out he'll jump at anything right now. And so he's got to, and we talk about it all the time. I mean, this is, he knows this. You got to be disciplined. Isaiah's got to be disciplined. Of course they're correctable. Yes. And frustrating on my end because, from behind the scenes, there's no way for you guys to know, like, what is emphasized a lot, what's not, and I can tell you that's emphasized a ton. You're not going to win a lot of games by fouling. Today, had we lost the game, we would have lost the game because we fouled too much, in my mind, had it gone the other way late. And if you look at analytics, the best shot you can get is a dunk or a layup. And then, free throws are next and threes. And so free throws, if they're next and you can prevent them, you better be good at that. And we were careless today. They were a lot of preventable fouls. And so it's a discipline thing. And yes, it is correctable. We need to correct it.